It's nearly midnight when the police get a call. There's a second door in the subway tunnels, and it just opened. Of the three who entered, only one made it back, barely able to speak. The thrum of the city above barely reaches the tunnels below. Deep beneath Boston's downtown, winter 2018, the MBTA subway system hums with a life all its own, a patchwork of ancient brickwork, modern steel, and secrets running through the city's dark underbelly. By day, it's a vein for commuters. By night, it's the kind of place you don't want to linger. Especially not in the sections marked maintenance only. It's 11:47 p.m. on January 28th, and the last inbound train rumbles away from Temple Place Station. On camera, three figures slip through the emergency exit. Kayla Hart, a fiercely curious urban explorer and Boston University anthropology grad. Lucas Paxton, her lifelong friend and dogged local journalist. And Marcus Cooley, a soft-spoken civil engineer with a reputation for finding things no one else should. They're clutching flashlights and a scanner, motivated by the strangest lead Kayla has ever received, an anonymous tip sent to her barely known podcast, Forgotten Boston. The message is short, typed, and unsigned. There's a second entrance below the red line, just past the old platform. Look for the faded blue door. It wasn't part of the original plans. Kayla can't get it out of her mind. Not because of the whisper of conspiracy, but because she's spoken with Boston's subway historians. None had ever heard of another entrance, let alone a sealed door among the already labyrinthine tunnels. But tonight, curiosity wins out. A recent spate of phantom commuter reports. People claim to have heard voices in sections closed for decades, only adds urgency. Before entering, Lucas texts his partner. "If we're not back in an hour, call it in. We're trying a new entrance. This could be a bust or history in the making." They sneak past the barrier and crunch down the gravel, Marcus leading. Almost immediately, the world above fades. There is something thick, almost ancient, about the air as they pass under a service arch last cleaned when Reagan was president. Their flashlights skate nervously over graffiti, ancient support beams, and scattered dust. The blue door isn't hard to find. It's heavily scarred and looks utterly out of place. Industrial steel glossed over faded WPA murals. They hesitate only a moment. Kayla tries the handle and, to everyone's surprise, it turns. The last video footage. Kayla opens the blue door. All three step through, and the door swings closed with a solid, echoing thud. The door clanged shut behind them like a vault. For a long moment, their only illumination came from shaky flashlight beams cutting through swirling dust. It was at least 8 degrees colder inside. Lucas's breath showed in uneven puffs. For all their bravado moments before, now, even Marcus, was quiet. The passageway was unlike any subway corridor they'd seen. Rounded, not squared, tiled in pale blue triangles that caught and warped their light. Old graffiti spelled out, "Stay back," and "Do not enter," in paint so faded it looked almost like shadows. "Who would even bother tagging down here?" Marcus murmured, voice muffled by the tunnel's odd acoustics. Kayla, recording audio for her podcast, noted every strange detail aloud. The ceiling's higher. There's no third rail, just pipes, one with stenciled numbers. 1967, 1983, 2009, then nothing. The pipes snaked away, disappearing through a missing section of wall. At the tunnel's midpoint, their flashlights found an old phone case lying atop a child's purple scarf. The scarf was caked in gray dust. "This shouldn't be here," Lucas said, his tone unreadable. Moments later, they found the real gut punch. A stack of weathered flyers taped to the wall. Missing persons posters, water damaged, names and faces blurring with time. A few looked newer than expected. Marcus scanned the ground, muttering, "No tracks. Was this ever for passengers?" Kayla and Lucas bickered quietly, nerves frayed. Should they keep going? They were already deeper than planned, but the tunnel angled downward, toward a faint, mechanical hum. At the bottom, the space opened abruptly into a forgotten maintenance room, half flooded, dark water reflecting grainy flashlight halos. In the center, a rusted utility cart blocked another door. This one, painted yellow, had no handle on their side. That's when the hum changed, sharp, suddenly rhythmic. They froze. The water rippled. In that echo chamber, it sounded like something dragging across the far side. "Pause and reflect moment," Lucas whispered, putting a hand on Marcus's arm. "Is this where we stop being explorers and start being missing persons?" He forced a ragged laugh, but the unease was real. Kayla, stubborn and hungry for answers, forged ahead. They edged around the flooded section. Halfway across, Marcus slipped and nearly went under. Lucas hauled him up, but in the struggle, Marcus's phone splashed into the water. It was then they saw, across the room, someone had recently left muddy footprints, small as a child's, heading away from the locked door. At their feet, a plastic MBTA pass with a date, January 17th, 2019. "Someone's been in here," Kayla whispered. A loud metallic bang behind them. The blue door slammed shut. For the first time, panic rippled through the group. Marcus, shivering, insisted it was wind. Lucas, usually the skeptic, clutched the old posters. In the distance, the humming noise grew sharper, more frantic. Their flashlights flickered. From somewhere deeper in the pitch-black maze, a child's voice called, plaintive and hollow. "Are you lost too?" The voice reverberated again, soft, distant, yet chillingly clear. "Please, help me." Kayla's grip tightened on her recorder as the three exchanged glances, breath caught in the stale tunnel air. Was it real? Or just auditory illusion born of fatigue and fear? A sudden, sharp banging echoed from the yellow door. Marcus jabbed at the rusted lock panel, but it was immovable. Lucas strained his eyes. Meadows flickered beyond a narrow gap where the cart didn't fully cover the door. Suddenly a hand, pale, small, shot out and grabbed the edge, fingers twitching like a marionette cut loose. Then chaos. The cart toppled, water splashing over Marcus's boots as he lunged in surprise. Kayla screamed, half terror, half disbelief. The hand retreated as quick as it came. The chanting hum morphed into panting, scrambling feet that echoed away, fast, scared, and desperate. "Who the hell?" Lucas gasped. They followed, tracing footprints that vanished suddenly into the dank shadows of a side passage, previously unnoticed behind a loose panel. Flashlight beams skimmed over scrawled messages etched deep into the tunnel walls. Names, dates, symbols, some resembling ancient ciphers. Kayla whispered, "This wasn't just an access door. It's more like a secret cell, a forgotten holding place." One mural revealed itself under a closer beam. A giant eye with a tear painted next to a date, January 26th, 1987. According to Kayla's hastily consulted historical files later, several children disappeared in Boston during the 80s. Some never found. But the date was a clue, not the answer. 40 minutes into the chase, the trio finally stumbled into a narrow chamber. There, curled and trembling, was a young woman no older than 20. Her clothes were torn, skin pale but alive. She blinked at them, a ghost from the subway's darkest corners. I tried to escape," she whispered, voice hoarse but determined. "They locked me in here. 3 others came. Only I made it out." Her eyes darted wildly. Lucas exchanged wary glances with Kayla and Marcus. The woman's story matched fragments of forgotten missing persons cases, rumors dismissed as homeless myths. The existence of a secret subterranean world had been laughed off, until tonight. They escorted her out through the now mysteriously unlocked yellow door. Once above ground, the trio made the call to authorities, who launched an immediate investigation. Over the next weeks, police uncovered a hidden network of unused tunnels and cryptic markings suggesting a sinister system of abandonment and cover-up dating back decades. The discovery shook Boston. The subway's second entrance was no architectural anomaly. It was part of a tangled history of lives lost to neglect and secrets. City officials promised full transparency and safety reforms, yet questions lingered. How many had slipped into the shadows, truly lost to the system? And how many were forgotten by design? The young woman's testimony triggered reopened cold cases and community demands for justice. Yet, many wonder about the unknown, that subterranean world beneath our feet, where urban explorers glimpse layers of fear, hope, and survival entwined in a forgotten maze.
Don't forget to subscribe to Real Mystery Reports for more strange, dark, and profoundly human stories. New true mysteries every day.